Do you have an expired cake for my daughter?" The question wasn't whispered. It wasn't shy. It hit the air with the heaviness of someone who had already been rejected by life too many times, and everyone in the bakery turned toward the man who asked it. If you're watching this, don't skip. Because what happened next changed two lives, exposed one heart, and proved that kindness sometimes comes from the people you least expect. And if stories like this touch you even a little, make sure you like this video and subscribe so more people can feel the same warmth you're feeling right now. The bakery smelled of vanilla frosting and warm sugar. Morning sunlight poured through the glass walls, making everything glow gold. The cakes, the pastries, even the tiny rainbow sprinkles scattered across the floor from yesterday's rush. Behind the counter stood Mia, a young single mother working 2 shifts just to keep her dreams alive. She was icing a birthday cake with delicate roses when the bell above the door jingled, and the stranger walked in. His clothes were worn, his shoes were dusty, and his voice trembled slightly when he repeated his question at the counter. "Please, do you have an expired cake? One you're going to throw away? It's my daughter's birthday today, and I just want her to have something. Anything." Mia froze. The cake knife in her hand hovered midair. People behind the man exchanged glances, some pitying, some annoyed, some pretending not to hear. But there was one person who heard every single word with a sharp, quiet intensity. A man sitting alone in the corner, dressed in a charcoal suit, holding a small cup of coffee like he hadn't slept in days. No one recognized him, because he didn't want to be recognized. His name was Adrian Cole, one of the country's youngest millionaires, but today, he was just a tired soul who walked in seeking silence. And what he heard shattered that silence. Mia put down the icing bag. No hesitation, no embarrassment, just pure, human warmth. "We don't keep expired cakes," she said softly, "but, wait here a moment." She disappeared into the kitchen, leaving the stranger standing awkwardly, fiddling with his hands. Adrian watched him. This wasn't someone pretending. This wasn't someone begging for attention. This was a father, trying. Mia returned with a cake, freshly baked, creamy white frosting, little pink candies around the edge. "This was an extra I made this morning," she said. "You can take it." The man's eyes widened. I can't afford. "It's a gift," she said gently. For the first time in minutes, his shoulders relaxed. His eyes glistened. He held the cake box to his chest as if it were something holy. "My daughter's going to smile today because of you," he whispered. And he turned to leave. But Adrian suddenly stood up. "Sir," he called quietly. The man stopped, startled. Adrian walked closer, placing a hand on the father's shoulder. "What's your daughter's name?" "Lily," the man replied, almost ashamed, as if he feared even her name wasn't worthy enough. Adrian nodded. "My driver is outside. Let me drop you home. Cakes shouldn't travel long in the heat." The man's eyes darted to the bakery floor. I live far." "Good," Adrian said calmly. More time to talk. The father didn't understand why a rich, well-dressed stranger cared. Mia didn't understand it either. But Adrian understood perfectly. He had once been that child, the one whose parent couldn't afford a cake. He had once celebrated birthdays with nothing but a candle stuck into a piece of bread. He had once watched his mother break down in the corner of their kitchen because she felt she wasn't enough. He remembered the pain too well. And he refused to let another child feel it. Before leaving the bakery, Adrian turned back toward Mia. "How much is that cake?" he asked. Mia shook her head. "I told you, it's a gift." "Then let me buy every cake in your display today," Adrian said, voice steady, "and have you donate them to children who can't afford one." The bakery went silent. Mia stared at him in disbelief. "Sir, that's a lot." Adrian nodded once. "Good. That means it'll help a lot of kids." And he meant it. He bought every cake, every cupcake, every pastry. Not to show off, not to make headlines, but because kindness should be loud enough to echo through people's lives. As he and the father walked out together, the man whispered, "Why are you doing this?" Adrian smiled faintly. "Because I know what it's like to be you," he replied. "And because your daughter deserves to feel celebrated. Every child does." Hours later, Mia finished work and stepped outside, only to see a sleek black car waiting. The window rolled down, and Adrian leaned out. "You were the real hero today," he said. "Come work for me. I need someone with a heart like yours on my team." Mia's breath caught in her throat. And from that day onward, her life, and the father's, and little Lily's, changed forever. Not because of money, not because of luck, but because one act of compassion sparked another, and another, until it lit up an entire room of people who had forgotten that kindness still existed. If you're still watching, remember this. Sometimes, the smallest gesture becomes the biggest turning point in someone's life. Be that turning point. And if this story touched your heart, even a little, like the video, subscribe, and share the warmth forward. Kindness grows when you let it.